Today we have had the meeting of the board, and especially today's only agenda in presence of our CTP, Mr. Rajesh Naik, James Matthew असा, बाकीचे सगळे मेंबर्स असा, विक्रमकर असा आणि आमचे आकाश मोठे, सावरकर, आमचं निलेश आमोणकर आणि आमचे आवेश, स्नेहलता आणि बाकी सगळे वेगवेगळे बॉडीजचे रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्स आणि आमचं वरिष्ठ आयुक्त आणि सगळे आमचे वेगळे ऑर्गनायझेशन्स आणि वेगळे जे आम्ही स्टेक होल्डर्स आहात स्पेशली आम्ही इन्व्हाइट करपाचो पयली फावट आम्ही प्रयत्न केल्लो आसा. मुख्य म्हणजे कितें आसा की टुडे वी हॅव वॉट वी हॅव डिस्कस्ड एंड डिलिबरेटेड and we have held this meeting only because of the work, extensive work that has been done by the committee, all members of CREDA and everybody along with our team in order to see that the ODPs and all are examined, and in view of the large amount of discrepancies that were there. And I will just go through a few things. This committee was constituted on 27/4/22, and we had said that within 60 days the report will be submitted. So today the findings have been submitted, and we are extending the duration just for deliberation within our group and within the department by another 15-20 days max to max, another 30 days. But the target is before the assembly session we are able to conclude all this process and take government approval. What is to be done is that the committee has given its findings, and now I will just run through few things based on which the whole committee has discussed and moved forward, and then I'll come to the last part. One is outline development plan of Kalangut Kandulim, outline development plan of Arpora Nagua Para, outline development plan of 2030, also Vasco da Gama planning area. Meeting जायत्यो जाल्यो आणि प्लस तेजे उपरांत एक कोर्ट हियरिंग बी अशी कोर्टान एक डायरेक्टिव्ह दिल्ले की परत एकदा काय गोष्टीचे हियरिंग करपाक ते राजेश तेजेर ब्रीफ करतो टेक्निकॅलिटीज ते हियरिंग बी 15 तारखेर जाली आणि तांकां तेन्ना योग्य तरेचे तांकां रिप्रेझेंटेशन गावंक ना ते दिवपाक काय तेंचो विशय मांडपाक. बट यू हॅव टू अंडरस्टँड वन थिंग इज दॅट इट हॅज बीन ऑब्झर्व्ड that there was no proper vision document while preparing these ODPs. There was no proper vision application of mine that was put in place. But I will go step by step. Policy documents should have been prepared defining the objectives and goals we achieved, the horizon period of these ODPs. Although several objections, suggestions were received, a fixed criteria was not adopted by the subcommittee nor authority in deciding such objections, suggestions of the ODPs. Parameters pertaining to infrastructure availability in terms of accessibility to plots, density, locational aspects, etc. were not looked into satisfactorily while allocating zoning to the properties. Zoning of the area should have been decided by assessing the potentiality of the particular area in relation to the available proposed road network, availability of services such as water supply, sewerage, electricity, garbage disposal, etc. Now you have to also understand that committee observed that several eco-sensitive areas such as paddy field, tenanted lands, no development scopes have been changed to settlement and other developable zones. During the preparation of the Kalangut Kandulim ODP, Parra, Nagua ODP observed that settlements earmarked for under rural RPG 21 हे जे पळय एक लक्षात घ्या तुम्ही हे RPG 21 जे कितें सेटलमेंट आणि ते कितें आशिल्ले ते ओडीपी करतना काही लोकांनी ते रिमूव्ह केले. they have been removed from certain preparatory should have been retained and reasons for them should have been cited. But once when we adopt RP 21, that's the base plan. You cannot revert or do what you want at your own whims and fancies. Even 3 meters internal roads and lanes have been reflected on the ODP, which has led to several objections being raised by affected parties. Therefore, reflecting such internal 3 meters should have been avoided. Width of main roads, including the major district road MDR, has been reduced from 25 meters to 15 meters to suit कितें जाय तें तशें केल्लें आसा जेचो अथॉरिटी कडेन पावर ना तें करपाक, which appear to have been done mainly due to accommodate certain unauthorized growth extensions carried out to existing structures. हेच्या खातीर हे सगळे गोष्टी केल्ले गेले अशें कमिटीक दिसता. Considering the overall policy adopted, planning policy adopted authority during ODP, the committee's findings are under no major planning exercise was undertaken while preparing the ODP. Change of zones has been done arbitrarily without following uniform policy. Eco-sensitive zones have been changed to developable zones which may have adversely affect the environment. Tenanted paddy fields have been converted into settlement zones, which may lead to several litigations in case of development is proposed in such land by further verifying the tenancy aspects. Now you have to also understand, and which I want the media and the people of Goa to understand what exercise was going on here. Playgrounds, parking areas, recreational areas, open areas have been earmarked in low-lying paddy fields may again result to problems. आणि दुसरीकडे असे बी झाले असा की जे काही playground and recreational area have been converted to some other zone only, they have been removed only from where it was required to be maintained. Being the linear development commercial zone should have been assigned along the main road rather than खंयच्या खंय commercial zone करून दवरल्या. आणि अशें आमी करूं शकना. खंयचे कोणाक जर करूंक जाय एक योग्य तरेचे प्लॅनिंग प्रोसेस फॉलो करून करपाची गरज आसा. Lot of unauthorized development have come up in the area, especially in Kalnapur, Kandoli, which has restricted further widening of roads. And म्हणूनच कितें केलां की हे सगळे गोष्टी जे MDR हे कमी करपाक अधिकार नाशिल्लो बोर्ड ऑथॉरिटी कडेन. So as a result of which, overall, if you go to see the proposal which have not been reflected in the ODP, आणि एक कितें जालां तुमकां सांगता, तुमकां गोंयच्या लोकांक सांगपाची गरज आसा की एक कमिटी अशी जे ODP ड्राफ्ट ODP म्हणून येता आणि मागीर त्याच्यानंतर ते बोर्ड कडे वता मागीर फायनल इट बिकम्स फायनल ODP आम्ही घेतात. पण एक लक्षात तुम्ही घेऊंक जाय, we have to understand the planning process. First you prepare a draft ODP, then you send it to the government, then you send it to the board, and then it goes back after approval of the board back to the authority to be notified. And whatever was not reflected in the draft ODP also, cases have been added afterwards, which were not reflected in the ODP, which is an illegal act. It is not something that is normally done, and it should not have been done. So all these things which are there, a lot of areas change to sell by considering structures existing on site, and जायत्यो गोष्टी in violation of the from planning point of view and violation of the act करून हे केल्ले आसा. आणि मेन म्हणजे कितें आसा ते सोडूनच दिया. हे सगळे आमी जे उलयता आणि हे सगळे आमी also several cases in grant of conversion surrender by competence or change of zone done by the government through notification development undertaken by obtaining valid permission have been overlooked. I am just repeating. People who keep on crying, and as a result of which what we are sitting here and doing is, here we have all the members of the industry. We want to create a vibrant atmosphere in the state of Goa. We have got representatives of CREDAI, we have got representatives of CII, we have got representatives of Goa Chamber of Commerce, we have got all other planning bodies we are taking on board. एक लक्षात घ्या, जाय त्या लोकांचे जे कमिटमेंट्स आशिल्ल्यो, हे जे कितें उलयतात न्ही काय लोक कमिटमेंट आशिल्ल्यो, त्यो कमिटमेंट असलेल्या लोकांच्यो प्रॉपर्टी या लोकांनी ऑर्चर्ड करून उडयले. So basically they did not honor what the commitment was already there and what was given by the authority earlier. In addition to this, I have already mentioned that playgrounds, parking have been हे सगळे उलयले याच्याबद्दल. Recommendation of the subcommittee, त्यांनाची subcommittee जे दिल्ली, subcommittee had given a report that not to consider certain proposals have been subsequently overruled by the authority, resulting in several questions. You सगळे गोष्टी आम्ही जे तुमचे we have brought in front of you is only to show we are here in the state of Goa as a town planning minister is to see that the CREDAI, everybody they have faith in the planning system of the government. We are not here to create any kind of instability, but definitely illegalities that have been done will reach its logical end. We have today taken the findings of the committee that they have given us. In addition also, we were discussing to take these consultants on board. The other ODPs also, the power that has been taken by the board, that they will formulate those ODPs, taking them also on board as members of in a transparent manner in order to maintain vibrancy in the state of Goa. Investment into sentiment, but investor sentiment is important to be maintained, but not at the cost of these type of illegalities. I, as a town planning minister, cannot decide tomorrow Mr. Sairu's property is going to be made into orchard or going to be made into settlement, or Laukik's property is going to be made into settlement because Laukik is not selling me that property. जाय त्या लोकांचे प्रॉपर्टीचे रस्ते सोडून दिल्या आणि कितें कितें अशें घडल्या. पण टुडे I think we are moving in the right direction. The board for the first time has opened the doors to people from the industry and the stakeholders to be a part of the planning process in the state of Goa. They have given us their findings. We'll deliberate those findings, go through it, and we have to extend, because 60 days we had given a commitment to the people of the state of Goa. Before the assembly, we want to see that these things are completed and thorough investigation subsequently as to what needs to be done, where are the illegalities, who did the illegalities, that also we have got. That is a separate matter, that is nothing to do with the planning process at the moment. That also will be taken forward to its logical end. Anybody who has done illegalities, anybody who has done whatever, member secretary has already put his views, and very clearly he has said that submitted these subcommittee reports and other things at that point of time when these ODPs were made. आणि एक तुमकां बेश्टें सांगपाक म्हणून जस्ट एज अ मॅटर ऑफ बेटर इन्फॉर्मेशन तुमकां दिवपाक, तेन्ना ओडीपी जेन्ना केल्ली तेन्ना टोटल एरिया कन्वर्टेड इन दॅट कलंगूट ओडीपी, कांदोलीम ओडीपी, आरपोरा, नागावा, पारावा इज अराउंड 16,94,000 स्क्वेअर मीटर्स. म्हणजे तुम्ही विचार करा. सो टुडे इन प्रिन्सिपल वी हॅव डिसायडेड दॅट आमकां सगळे नॉन डेव्हलपमेंट स्लोप्स काडूंक जाय, टेनेंटेड एरिया काडूंक जाय, लो लायन फील्ड्स काडूंक जाय, आनी त्याच बरोबर आम्ही फुडल्या 10 दिसा भितर 10-15 दिसा भितर आणि इंडस्ट्रीक आयज इंडस्ट्रीचे सगळे मेन हांगा बसल्या. आयज रियल इस्टेट सेक्टर ऑल्सो इज एट अ टेक ऑफ स्टेज इन द स्टेट ऑफ गोवा. एट दॅट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम वी डू नॉट वॉन्ट टू पुट एनी काइंड ऑफ हर्डल्स एज फार एज देअर ग्रोथ इज कन्सर्न, बट सेम टाइम वी वॉन्ट टू फेसिलिटेट. आम्ही आता जेन्ना टीडीआरचो उलयता, आम्ही एफएसआयचे उलयता, आमची बॉडी निलेश आसा, इज एडवोकेट बाय प्रोफेशन, आमचे बाकीचे सगळे मेंबर्स जे हांगा आसात ते आनी आमची टीम जी आसा, आमचे मेंबर्स जे आसा ते बसतले, रेग्युलेशन धरयतले की बाबा आमकां टीडीआर रिसिव्हिंग एरिया खातीर ह्या तरेचे रेग्युलेशन्स करपाक जाय, तरच ते टीडीआर आमी थंय ट्रान्सफर करू शकता. त्याच बरोबर एफएसआय जर वाडूंक जाय ते बी ते डिस्कस करतले, तांकां डिस्कस करून डिलिबरेट करून ते बोर्डा फुडें प्रेझेंटेशन करतले की ह्या तरेचे प्लॅनिंग प्रोसेस आमकां फॉलो करूंक जाय. In the meanwhile, we will be taking couple of consultants on board, which will be used by other authorities also in formation of ODPs and other things. In the meanwhile, we are now opening up the process for finalizing new ODPs for the other draft ODPs that have already been resolved, and as a result of which we have to form. For that also, members of the same committee will be a part of that process in helping us, along with their Institute of Planners असू दी, टाउन प्लॅनिंग असू दी, इन्स्टिट्यूट ऑफ इंजिनियर्स असू दी, यांचे सगळ्यांचे सहमतीन आम्ही तांकां आमचे सीटीपीचे अंडर आम्ही ते घेऊन आम्ही ते फुडें वचपाचो आमचो प्रयत्न आसतलो. बट वन थिंग आय कॅन अश्योर यू that this report, which is findings, has been put today, and it is shocking certain findings. आणि हे जावपाचे नाशिल्ले ह्या तरेचे गोष्टी जे घडल्या, आणि ह्यो तरेचे गोष्टी जे घडल्या म्हणजे it's something I'm not also able to comprehend. But this has to be corrected, and over the next 10 days whatever correction under correction कितें करूंक जाय, बोर्ड मिटिंगाचे आता फायंडिंग्स आयिल्ले आसा, सेक्शन 39(3) चे अंडर जे कितें आमी करेक्शन करूंक जाय, जे कितें सर्वे जे कितें आहा ते आमकां दिसता that should not be there, that will be corrected and that will be taken out. But main thing you must remember is that we are going to follow a very transparent process. We have said that this board meeting we are adjourning. We are again going to meet when this exercise is completed within the next 10 days, so that before the assembly session, this report is fully concluded and final. And also, all the other ODPs which I have said earlier in draft stage, the process will start under the town planning department. आणि एक लक्षात तुम्ही घेऊन जाय, जे कितें घडलं ते बरें घडोवंक ना, आणि हे सगळे क्लीन अप एंड जे क्लेन्सिंग ऑफ द सिस्टम जे जाय ते क्लेन्सिंग आमी करतले, बट टेकिंग ऑल द पीपल फ्रॉम द इंडस्ट्री इनटू कॉन्फिडन्स. तेंचे बरोबर रावन पयली फावट हांव जेन्ना मंत्री जाला तेन्नाचे आमी तांकां स्पेशल इन्वायटी म्हणून आमी तांकां वी हॅव टेकन देम ऑन द बोर्ड. We have invited them at all the PDAs. We have asked them to give their representation everywhere, and they will be a part of the planning process. And I am also moving for amendment to make them permanent members of the board by designation, so that or they are representative, so that they are able to be a part of the planning process. आम्ही जेन्ना प्लॅनिंग प्रोसेसाचो उल्लेख करता गोंय राज्यात, प्लॅनिंग प्रोसेस म्हणजे कशें प्लॅनिंग प्रोसेस, मंत्र्याक जाय म्हणून प्लॅनिंग प्रोसेस मंत्री काय जाय तसं करू शकना. आणि कितें आहा तुम्ही इन्व्हेस्टमेंट त्यांचे आमचे चर्चा झाली आहे डिटेल, आणि चर्चा जावपाची गरज आहे की इन्व्हेस्टर कॉन्फिडन्स बिल्डअप करपाक योग्य तरेन आमकां फुडें वचपाची गरज आहे. तुमकां योग्य तरेचे इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर, फाल्यां एमडीआरचो रोड फाल्यां तो 30 मीटर आसल्यार तूं ते बारीक करू शकना. खंय तुका कोणाक जर फेवर करूंक जाय तो रस्तो तू बारीक करू शकना. जो 6 मिटराचो रोड हा कोणाक तुवें फेवर करूंक जाय म्हणून तू 3 मिटर दाखवू शकना तो रोड. आणि म्हणूनच आयज सिलेक्टिव्हली आम्ही करू शकना. आमकां एक प्लॅन प्रोसेसान व्यवस्थित ट्रान्सपरंटली फुडें वचपाची गरज आहा. रिपोर्ट ऑलरेडी आमकां आयला. रिपोर्ट ते फायंडिंग्स ते डिलिब्रेट जातले आणि सांगल्या प्रमाणे आम्ही हे अजनायज करून आमकां फुडल्या 10 दिसांत जे कितें करेक्शन करूंक जाय, जे कितें इलिगॅलिटी, जे कितें टेनेंटेड लँड भायर काडूंक जाय, जे कितें नॉन डेव्हलपमेंट स्लोप भायर काडूंक जाय, खंयची कितें आमकां दिसता ते भायर काडूंक जाय, काडपाचो आमी प्रोसेस आमी करतले अँड वी वील मीट अगेन अँड वी वील फायनलायज द रिपोर्ट. नाव दे हॅव डन द फायंडिंग्स, दे नो एक्झॅक्टली व्हॉट इज व्हॉट. आय डोंट हॅव टू से व्हॉट इज व्हॉट. They know exactly what is what and where the correction is done. That also we will discuss subsequently and we will take it forward. पण एक लक्षात घ्या की ह्या तरेचे गोष्टी जेन्ना घडटा, ह्या तरेचे गोष्टी जे घडल्यो, ह्या तरेचे गोष्टी this is a fit case for further investigation that I don't have to do. That who has to do will do it. But actually this is not right. And this injustice that has been done through these ODPs on the state of Goa, it is actually a shameful act. And anybody trying to defend this, I mean, he should put his head in the bucket and drown himself. That's what I can say. And nothing anymore. Wildin, bud आणि खंय तरी जीव दी म्हणून सांगू जाय असल्या लोकांक. कारण तांकां गोंयच्या लोकांचे हित हांगा दे आर नॉट प्रोटेक्टिंग गोवा. गोवन कल्चर, गोवन हेरिटेज आणि आमच्या गोंयकारांचे जे जमन्यो जे आहा, कोणाची जमीन काडली, आरपीची काडली जमीन आणि ते ऑर्चर्ड घातले, हें कितें तें इट्स लायक अ जोक. सो यू कॅनॉट डू इट. अँड टुडे आय एम गिविंग इन पब्लीक डोमेन तुमच्या माध्यमांतल्यान, मिडियाच्या माध्यमांतल्यान हांव इंडस्ट्रीक मातसो रिक्वेस्ट करता की तुम्ही मातशे एक्टिव्ह रोल यू हॅव टू प्ले अँड हेल्प द डिपार्टमेंट इन सीइंग दॅट वी आर एबल टू रन इट इन अ व्हेरी ट्रान्सपरंट मॅनर. आमकां कितेंच लिपोवपाचें ना आणि आमकां वायब्रन्सी जाय जाल्यार योग्य तरेन प्लॅनिंग प्रोसेस जाग्यार हाडपाची गरज आहा आनी त्याच तरेन आमकां फुडें वचूंक जाय. टीडीआर जर हांवें सांगलें, टीडीआर म्हणजे विश्वीर राणी ठरवचो ना खंय टीडीआर दिवंक जाय ते. आय एम नॉट अ टेक्निकल एक्सपर्ट and neither am I knowledgeable enough. I can say that okay, this has to be done, but there are experts who will decide the regulation. Regulations under which areas that qualify to receive the particular TDR. Second, if you want to give extra FSI, how do you give that extra FSI? This has to be deliberated. It can be a thought process. But then when we also get consultants on board, then our industry players and those people, they will deliberate, and then we will see that we ultimately what do we want? We want to save Goa also. And we want to do, and policy should be such that we are able to do it for posterity, not only for a short-term basis. It has to be a long-term policy. त्यांनी ऑलरेडी बाकीच्या गोष्टी पळयल्या, त्यांचे फायंडिंग्स कितें आहा ते घेवन खंय कितें करेक्शन करूंक जाय, जे कितें एलिमिनेट करूंक जाय ते एलिमिनेट करून आमी ते रिपोर्ट आमी ओडीपी बंद करतले.
असेंब्ली मुखार फक्त रिपोर्ट दवरतले की तेजे पयलीं करेक्शन्स जातली भितर प्लॅना भितर.
असेंब्लीनचो रिपोर्ट दवरपाचो तो वेगळो रंगाचो रिपोर्ट आहा. ते रंगूच वेगळे. हे प्लॅनिंग प्रोसेसाचे आमी उलयता. ते रंग बिरंगी रिपोर्ट जे घालूंक जाय न्ही ते तेन्ना घालता असेंब्लीन. तेजे पयलीं दुसरे कडेन बी पावतले रिपोर्ट. पावले ऑलरेडी रिपोर्ट. ते तुमकां कळटले थोड्या दिसांनी खंय पावला, कितें जालां, तेजें कितें जावंक जाय ते योग्य तरेन जातलें. ते वेगळे हांगा काय ना.
तो ड्राफ्ट आहा तो परत ओपन करता म्हणटा पळय न्हू, त्यो ही कमिटी
ओपन आतां चुकता तुमचे. ओपन न्हू, ड्राफ्ट आयले बोर्डा कडेन. ते बॉडी ना, ते आमी आतां आमच्या लेवलाचेर
पीडीए कांय करचें ना आतां.
पीडीएचो करपाचो प्रश्न येवचो ना. बोर्ड विल टेक इट अँड बोर्ड विल फायनलायज.
हेजे फुडले सगळे प्लॅनूय बोर्ड करतले.
ह्यो ज्यो 4 आसा हे बोर्डचे अंडर आसतले ते. आणि ते योग्य ते चेअरमन जे कितें आहा तांकां कॉन्फिडन्सान बी आमी घेतले आमचे कमिटी बरोबर. तांकां बी कॉन्फिडन्सान आमी घेवन करतले. वी वॉन्ट टू फिनिश इट. Because now once it is a draft, it is what was the finality of that had to only come to the board to get finalized. These are all chairmen who have just taken over. So if they have any suggestions and all, then we take that on the board. We will take them on board and they will sit with the committee and they will.
इथून आता मायकल सोडून आणि कोण मोठे मोठे सापडले.
तुम्ही एकूच मनशाची फाटल्यान कितें लागता.
तुम्ही एकट्याच मनशाचें नाव घेतलें.
हांवें नाव घेवंक ना. हे पुराय गेले 15-20 मिनटांनी कोणाचेंच नाव घेवंक ना. आमी हांगा इलिगॅलिटीज क्लियर करपाक बसले. आमी कोणाचे एक इंडिव्हिज्युअलाचे काय 2 इंडिव्हिज्युअल काय 3 इंडिव्हिज्युअल फाटल्यान कोण लागूंक ना. गोंया राज्यांचे इलिगॅलिटीज जाले ते इलिगॅलिटीज समाप्त करपाक आनी ट्रान्सपरंट मेकॅनिझम जाग्यार घालपाक म्हणून आमी हांगा बसले. आनी प्रश्न एक इंडिव्हिज्युअल, इट्स नॉट अबाउट एनी इंडिव्हिज्युअल. त्या लायनीन जर कोण तरी आयलो बिकॉज कांट हेल्प इट. इफ द इलिगॅलिटीज टू बी क्लेन्स. तूं जेन्ना न्हाता तेन्ना तूं कितें जर्म्स काबार करपाक म्हणून तूं बरें साबण तूं लायता आनी तेचेर ते आतां आमी साबण आतां यूज केला तर ते आतां कितले जर्म्स मरता ते पळयात. चला.